There you are. I am so glad to see you. Today we're going to talk about the good news. Yes, there you are. We're going to talk about the gospel today. Last night, God speaks to me through the night. Oh, so it's when I hear Him best, and He just put in my heart, just tell me, go back to basics, talk about the good news, the gospel. And let me wash your feet today. I'm going to start there. Man, you're going to be excited. What Jesus, our Creator, is trying to communicate. Did you know? I'm going to read this. Did you know that predestination? It's this simple, man. God created everything, created us, predestined to choose Him. That's exactly it. Now, the Calvinists got it backwards. They're like, oh, you have no choice. God created you to choose you. No, our predestination plan was that God created us with the opportunity that we choose Him. Immediately, He puts Adam in the garden and smiles and said, just stay away from there. And that leads me into the gospel. Many of us will choose God, and yes, we're going to get ourselves filthy with sin, but I want you to see what our Father's like. Now, I want you to picture, if you've been a parent, you washing your little child's face after it's made a mess after eating. Um, if Look at that beautiful sunrise, I'm telling you, try to get a good view of it. So you wash your child's face when they're messy, or they come in filthy from playing outside, or they got dirty. You just sit down with a smile and you wash your child because they're good kids. That's our Father washing our feet. Listen to this truth. I'm going to give you some truths. Listen to this. So Jesus washes feet. He says, then He pours water to the base and begins washing the disciples' feet and wiping them with a towel which He tied around His waist. God's doing this. Okay, God, this is how He's treating you. He wraps the towel. He gets down in the floor with the towel around, and he washes the feet, right? And he came to Peter, and Peter has an issue because he knows he's God. And he says, what I'm doing, you don't realize right now. You don't understand right now, but you'll understand later. Peter said, well, then wash all of me, Jesus. If that's the case, then I want all of it. Well, if I don't wash you, you have no place. Oh, he says, never. He says, if I don't wash your feet, you have no place in me. If I don't wash you, that's what he says, wash all of me. But Jesus says, oh, whoa, Peter. He who has bathed needs only to wash his feet. Otherwise, he is already completely clean. And you are clean, but not all of you. And he's talking about Judas. His heart wasn't clean. His heart did not believe in, his heart was dirty. It had corrupted itself. Actually, you know that? I'll go back on that. But he says, you're already clean, Peter. I don't need to wash your feet. Now, this is before the crucifixion. This is good stuff. And Jesus says, do you know what I've done for you? This is God who created this beautiful sunrise and you. He says, do you know what I've done for you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are correct, so I am. If I, the Lord and teacher, actually washes your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I gave you an example so that you would also do just as I did for you. Truly, a slave is not greater than the master, nor is the one who was sent greater than the one who sent him. If you know these things, you're blessed. So what is Jesus doing? Our Father God said, you're already clean, Peter. How's that the case? Not all of you here are clean, referring to Judas. And what is he referring to by washing feet? Man, we sometimes will make a mess of our lives and selves. We could believe in Jesus. Like I said at the beginning, Jesus gave us a chance, predestined everybody. The beautiful thing is not God choosing. It's that God created us so that we would choose Him. And so in choosing him, that's the good news that he says in Mark. He says, I tell you, go out and tell the world the good news. That if you believe, if you choose me, if you put your faith in me, you just choose me, you believe and be baptized, you shall be saved. That's the good news. But he did clarify, those who refuse to believe in me, they're going to face condemnation. That's eternal damnation and darkness. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about believers. But he said you're already clean, which means I need to wash your feet. Can you picture God with that towel and he's washing our feet? He is kneeled before you, and he tells us to do that with each other. We make a mess. Like the prodigal son, we get out and we get into sin. We tread in dirty places. Our hearts are clean, but we made some bad choices and we got into sin. God himself washed the feet of his disciples to teach us an example that that's how we are. He knows we're going to mess up. He knows we're going to get our feet dirty, tread in dirty places. We need to wash. And I'm telling you right now, keep your faith in Jesus. But let me share this good part right here. In John 15:3, this is why he told Peter, you are already clean. Jesus says, you are already clean because of the word which I spoken to you. So remain in me and I will remain in you, like a branch in a vine. That's how he said you are already clean. The word he spoke already made Peter clean. That's why he said you're already clean. You just may need to get your feet washed because you tread a little dirty sometimes. That's the good news. Believe and be baptized and you will find salvation. We get that chance to choose Jesus. That's your good news for today. Keep that in your heart. The gospel is to believe and be baptized, you will be saved. Don't tread as an unbeliever because you will face condemnation. That's clear. I mean, and there'll be preachers who will try to argue that away. Those are people who like to be argumentative with God. That is not at all truthful because there is a condemnation judgment. That is eternal separation from God. But it's simple. Wash your feet. You'll tread lightly. He's going to keep you clean. That's good news. Enjoy this new spring. Easter's around the corner. I'm going to keep bringing you the good news. More revelation on that. God bless you guys. I'm Pastor Aaron. We meet in Dunbar, Grace of Truth Church, 10:30.